Hello, this is Pastor Len Smith, interim minister at Shepherd's Heart Fellowship. Today I'm going to continue to share some items of holy humor from a book produced by Carl and Rose Samra. These stories come from across the United States and from a wide variety of denominational backgrounds. The first one is called A Pastor's Prayer. This was submitted by Reverend Jack E. Musick from Narrows, Virginia. The pastor's prayer goes like this: Lord, fill my mouth with worthwhile stuff, and nudge me when I've said enough. The next one comes from the Anglican Digest and was written by Reginald Hollis. This is a prayer for good cheer. O Father, save me from the depression that comes from accepting every gloomy prediction and every bad news story as though they were the whole truth. May your grace help me not to be anxious about tomorrow, but to live with a trust that enables me to cope with today. Martin Luther in 1546 wrote the following, quote, Faith always has a companion joy in the Holy Spirit. Another short story from Dennis R. Fakes. There was a zealous, newly ordained minister assigned to a small rural parish. His first sermon, he condemned horse racing. The sermon went over poorly. A deacon cautioned, You should never preach against horse racing because the whole area is known for its fine horses. Many members of this congregation make their living off horses. The next week, the new pastor came down hard on the evils of smoking. Again, his sermon fell flat. Many of his members grew tobacco. On the third Sunday, the preacher condemned whiskey, only to discover that there was a big distillery less than 5 miles from the church. The perplexed preacher called a board meeting. He cried out, What can I preach about? The answer came immediately from a woman in back. Preacher, preach against them evil cannibals. There ain't one of them within 2,000 miles of here. Another story from George Coltrap. After a pastor's wife took her overworked husband to the family physician, the physician took the wife inside and whispered, I don't like the way your husband looks. I don't either, she replied, but he has been a good father to our children. And one more story today. This also from George Goldtrap. A married couple was celebrating their 50th anniversary in the church social hall. The wife was smiling, but the husband had tears in his eyes. The wife asked the husband why he was crying. The husband replied, 50 years ago, your daddy put a shotgun to my head and said that if I didn't marry you, he'd put me in jail for the next 50 years. If I had listened to him, I'd be a free man now. Thank you for listening to these humorous and touching stories written by a variety of people from various locations. We invite you to come to this location, Shepherd's Heart Fellowship. Join us for our life application classes at 9 a.m. Come and worship in person at 10 a.m. Or if you can't be here because of work or another reason, you can watch us online. Again, thank you and tune in next week for more holy humor.